Today is going to be a mind control presentation on what is mind control. Um, there's going to be some stuff about proof of evidence of technology, which only one of them sites is still up. This is academia. It's a website for students and stuff to go and do research and stuff like that on certain subjects. So why is mind control presentation in academia if it's not real? Well, that's because it is real. And what you're going to see today is a presentation on mind control that is on a website for college students and professors and all that to read. Okay, so, and if you're wondering what's going on with me, still the same old stuff. Heavy shocks to the brain, the cerebral cortex in the back of my head, heavy, heavy, um, vibrations and severe nausea, head heated up all the time. Matter of fact, the towel I've had in the freezer, when you try to break it apart, when it's melting, it rips. So it's got holes all in it. So I'm going to have to put another towel in the freezer, which I keep a couple of them in there, but they both got holes in them from when you rip it apart. When you're trying, because when you're getting heated up and you try to rip one of them frozen towels apart so quick, it rips it up sometimes. Anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Street theater, all the same old stuff, just to get responses for the remote neural verification. Mind control is a silent, covert, coercive manipulation of the human mind through low frequency electromagnetic waves. Extremely low frequency microwave in the neuron synapse level that alters and debilitates a human being slowly but surely. It's a nerve crime and brain crime primarily that alters the human psychology and behavior to abnormal extent to make anyone act as a puppet or slave in the hand of modern day mafias, mafia government servants, or to become their false targets and vested criminal interest. It's manipulation, poisoning, murder of a human brain, body, mind, and its surroundings, including air and consciousness, and including people in situations too. This being against the basic fair rights of life, security, and justice, against humanitarian laws that must have been outlawed long back. Through this technology, you can get any access to your life, brain, body, mind, atmosphere, and it can affect you severely. Okay, so now I'm going down here. It says the proof of evidence. Historic and poor evidence are plenty. Please visit the following links for such kind of proofs. I've visited some of these links, and I think the only one that I can't really think of. I think the only one that really of these links in here that really works is the dchkrab.com. Okay, so the science behind it. Actually, as a part scientific resource, the human body, much like a computer, contains myriad data processors. They include, but are not limited to, the electrical activity of the brain, heart, peripheral nervous system, the signals sent from the cortex region of the brain to any other parts of our body, the tiny hair cells in the inner ear that process auditory signals, and the light sensitive retina and cornea of the eye that process visual activity. We are on the threshold of an era in which these data processors in the human body may be manipulated or debilitated. The electromagnetic technology works on the theory that mind and body are electromagnetic mediated biophysics systems, and the electromagnetic signals from outer sources can mimic the mind and body's electromagnetic signals and can alter it in weird ways. The electromagnetic waves, radio waves, microwaves, sounds, and ultrasound waves manipulate and alter brain frequency, way of functioning of neurotransmitters, hormones, and causes immense damage to the whole system, including mental sanity and the whole nervous system. That's the weapons. The machineries and devices used in here are comparable with advanced weaponries and weapons-based systems like neural weapons, bioelectromagnetic weapons, and radiation weapons (EMR), including various kinds of electromagnetic weapons, psychotronic, microwave, acoustic, infrasound, and extremely low frequency weapons, etc. Definition of psychotronic weapons. Psychotronic weapons is totality of all possible methods and means, technogenic, suggestive, pharmacological, paranormal psych of the person for the purpose of modifying his conscious and behavior and health for what is desired. Mind control effects and symptoms. These are some of the common symptoms of individuals target experiencing this technology: microwave hearing and torture with intense loud electronic sounding noise, visual disturbances, visual hallucinations, manipulation of will, emotions and feelings and perceptions, manipulation of human behavior, forced speech, involuntary body movements, transmission of specific commands into the subconscious, compulsory execution of these commands, reading thoughts remotely, retrieving memories, implanting personalities, debilitation of mental acuity, inability to concentrate, disruption of ability to think rationally and independently, loss of memory and knowledge, inadequate states which targeted individuals have never experienced before, states of narcotic intoxication, depression, obsessive desires, and so on, control of sleep deprivation or uncontrollable sleep, blurred vision, cramps, seizures, spasms, excruciating artificial pain in any part of the body, for example, heart attacks or other symptoms. They've been targeting my back and my left shoulder. They've also been putting me to sleep lately. Like I will be wide awake and then all of a sudden I'll just get drowsy and can't stay awake. Reported mind control symptoms and descriptions include a slow death, unbelievably sophisticated, vicious, amoral, sadistic, and cruel. Symptoms can be depression, befuddled thinking, loss of memory, stress, not being able to cope, manic behavior. I don't call it schizophrenia. I disagree with him there. It's not schizophrenia. It appears to be schizophrenia, but is not. Nervous breakdowns, physical collapse, brain, nervous system damage, heart attacks, cancer. Precisely modulated microwave radiation is used to influence brain function. Human behavior and reactions can be entirely controlled by using pulse modulated microwave EM radiation. Victims from all over the world have contacted Mind Justice with reports of being targeted with mind control technologies. Although approximately 75% of victims are American and Russian, disagree with that too. I know plenty of people in Australia, Europe, Belgium, England. I mean, I know them all over the world, so I disagree with that. The following is a description of symptoms and mostly common reportedly by victims. Victims are subjected to various kinds of harassment and torture 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for years on end. Most believe that some kind of technology can remotely track, target, and control every nerve in the body. Heart and respiration rates can speed up and slow down. Stomach and bowel functions are regulated. I have a dear friend of mine who experiences constant diarrhea and has for the last year. Illnesses and all types of pain can turn on and off in instant. Microwave burns are reported. And the one I'm talking about that experiences diarrhea year round has constant microwave weapon attacks, heated up of the bowels, heated up of the head, burns, stuff like that. Sleep deprivation is common. Dreams are manipulated. The victims say whoever's targeting them, can see through my eyes what I see. Sometimes victims describe seeing the image of protected holograms. Thoughts can be read. Most victims describe a phenomenon they call street theater, which I experience a lot of since I hardly ever leave the house. Okay, so, and then I also, um, let's see, microwave burns are reported. I've experienced burns. I've experienced, the bowel being heated up. I've experienced let's see, 7 days a week, and and see what they do is the sleep deprivation. See what they do on me every time I close my eyes. If I was to close my eyes right now for 2 minutes, my brain would start getting shocked and my body would start vibrating. So they got me where I go in a delta phase of sleep and I get hit. Symptoms: some type of outside force can strike heavy blows to any object or set any object in the body into strong vibration while nearby objects are not vibrating at all. Wrenching of house building structures cause loud snapping or cracking noises often heard at precisely the point where a victim is starting to doze off to sleep. Victims regularly report many types of bizarre harassment, remote manipulation, electrical equipment, phone, car, TV, computers, mail tampering is reported as well. Black bag intelligence tactics, tire slide, break-ins without burglary, but at times including sabotage. Modified items are also appear on the list of invasions. For example, people around the victim have repeated verbatim. The victim's immediate thoughts are harassed. Personalized statements are repeated by strangers wherever the victim may go. I experienced that too. What I was about to say, well, it'll come back to me hopefully. I experienced forced speech. They'll be making me sing songs just out in the open. I'll just start singing songs out in the open. And I know some people think, well, that's just your favorite song and you're singing it. No, these are just Jingle Bell Rock and all kinds of crazy stuff. Then I won't realize I'm singing it until I get told I'm singing it. Stuff like that. Emotions can be manipulated. Microwave hearing, known to be an unclassified military capability of creating voices in the head, is regularly reported. Implanted thoughts and visions are common with repetitive themes that include pedophilia, homophobia, and degradation. Victims say it's like having a radio or TV in your head. Less frequently, remote and abusive sexual manipulations reported. Almost all victims say repetitive behavior control techniques are used and include negative stimulus or response feedback loops. Victims agree that the experience of mind control phenomena is vicious, immoral, sadistic, and cruel. Most victims describe the experience as very violent compared to mental rape, an electronic prison, or total destruction of the quality of their lives. Many have been labeled mentally ill and live with the financial ruin, loss, social life, and career. Victims theorize that the goal of experiments would appear to be development weapons to neutralize the enemy without killing them. To say all the technology is unbelievably sophisticated and effective. To them, it's like a soul death. And this is on a webpage called Academia, y'all, where students and stuff come here to get papers to read about. Just go check out the website Academia and see how many PDFs and stuff on here. But this stuff ain't real. To me, this is just one more example of how real this stuff is. You got papers on a student website, college student website. Okay, biological effects of electromagnetic radiation, radio waves, microwave. Uration comes to show that microwave frequencies similar to those of cell phones can cause health problems in the following areas: blood, cardiovascular system, cells, central nervous system, digestive system, glands, metabolism, reproduction, visual system, internal sound perception. And there's a thing right there. A target individual experiences brain function disruption due to direct energy weapon application. The effects of this electromagnetic harassment are analogous to symptoms of the patients with traumatic brain injuries. The number and nature of the effect depend on part of the brain that's targeted. The effects can be devastating and deadly, as the brain and nerves are the most precise and sensitive part of a human being anyway. Depending on the target area, the TIs experience different effects. And that's a bad thing for us TIs, because some of us be like, oh, I don't experience that, or you're not a real TI because I don't go through that. You're fake, and that's part of the problem in the TI community. Although there are a lot of fakes. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with this arrow thing. Targeted, frontal lobe, forehead, inability to plan a sequence of complex movements needed to complete multi-step tasks, such as making coffee, sequencing, loss of spontaneity in interacting with others, loss of flexibility in thinking, persistence of a single thought, preservation, inability to focus on a task, attending, mood changes, emotional label, changes in social behavior, changes in personality, difficulty with problem solving, inability to express language, loss of simple movements of various body parts. And it's going to keep going here. Target, parietal lobe near the back and top of the head, inability to attend to one more object at a time, inability to name an object, inability to locate the words for writing, problems with reading, difficulty with drawing objects, difficulty distinguishing left and right, difficulty with doing mathematics, lack of awareness of certain body parts or surrounding space that leads to difficulties in self-care, apraxia, inability to focus visual attention, difficulties with eye and hand coordination, and this can all be done with mind control. And let's see, target, optical lobes, defects in vision, locating objects in the environment, identifying colors, production of hallucination, visual illusions, inaccurately seeing objects, word blindness, inability to recognize words, difficulty in recognizing drawn objects, inability to recognize the movement of an object, difficulty reading and writing. Anyway, this is just a bunch of different stuff right here, so I will leave this up and keep difficulty in recognizing faces. This is some severe mind control stuff right here. This stuff does happen. Even the hallucinations, I think they're um, holograms or something preventing, because I don't think targeted individuals hallucinate at all unless it's forced. Because I think targeted individuals are sane people, very sane people, but mind control victims are too. I mean, it's both basically the same thing. Okay, let's go down here. Target brainstem, decreased vital capacity in breathing, difficulty swallowing food, difficulty organization, dizziness, nausea, sleeping difficulties, loss of ability to coordinate fine meals. Anyway, that's a bunch of stuff. The legality and mechanism of the application of mind control can always be challenged in good terms. The existence of such technology is definitely proven with more and more media reports and TI testimonies. Recently, Richmond, California has banned it also, as quite rightfully this goes against the rights and laws of identity and existence of a human being. This is substantively devilish application of weaponized technology in human life that abuses one's life and rights and results in a lawless and helpless situation for any individual 24/7. Advanced civilization cannot about a naked animal existence of a human being, whereas dignity and sense can both be assaulted and attacked brutally. The fundamental rights and laws that's violated here are life, health, security, protection, and freedom. From U.S. law point of view, this violates Section 241, 242, 226 1A, 2340A, 2332H, 2441. Also violates Michigan law and Space Preservation Act. It violates life, rights, health and family rights, freedom and security rights. It goes against the constitutional freedoms also, and especially against the Fourth Amendment and 14th Amendment. Also, 1, 3, 5, and 6 Amendment gets violated in the process. It violates habeas corpus principle that says that no one can take your body. Here, it takes away the body rights and confines someone illegally and criminally. This is directly against the principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 2, Article 1, right to equality, Article 2, freedom from discrimination, Article 3, right to life, liberty, personal security. You have a right to live, to be free, and feel safe. Article 4, freedom from slavery. No one has the right to treat you as a slave, and you should not make anyone your slave. Article 5, freedom from torture and degrading treatment. Nobody has the right to torture, harm, or humiliate you. Article 12, freedom from interference with privacy, family, home, and correspondence. You have a right to be protected if someone tries to harm your good name, enter your house, open your mail, or bother you or your family without good reason. Article 18, freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. Article 30, freedom from interference in these human rights. No person, group, or government anywhere in the world should do anything to destroy these rights. About privacy rights and all. The invasion of privacy is defined as wrongful intrusion into one's private activities in such a manner to cause mental suffering, shame, humiliation to a person of ordinary sensibilities. The privacy right prevents government interference in intimate and personal activities and freedoms of the individual to make fundamental choices involving himself, his family, and his relationship with others. Article 1 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union states that human dignity is inviolable. It must be respected and protected. Article 17. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary, unlawful interference with privacy, family, home, correspondence, nor to unlawful attacks on his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. Invasion of privacy is just the intrusion into a personal life of another without cause, which can give the person whose privacy is being invaded a right to bring a lawsuit for damages against the person or entity that intruded. When will this happen? It is our philosophy all men are equal above the wall. It's what the European Coalition Against Covert Harassment says. Everybody's right to life shall be protected. Nobody shall be subjected to torture or held in slavery. Any technologies and techniques capable of endangering human physical or physical health to modify an individual's autonomy and affect their dignity should be strictly prohibited. Everyone has got rights against these kinds of privacy invasions. Intrusions on one's solitude or in private affairs, public disclosure of embarrassing private information, publicity which puts him in a false light to the public, appropriation of one's name or picture for personal commercial advantage. One who intentionally intrudes physically or otherwise upon the solitude of another of his private affairs concerns is subject to liability to the other for invasion of his privacy, if the intrusion would likely be highly offensive for a reasonable person. Okay, and I'm gonna just flip through this stuff, and then intentional infliction of emotional distress is a tort claim of recent origin for intentional conduct conduct that results in extreme emotional distress. Some courts and commentators have substituted mental for emotional, but the tort is the same. Some jurisdictions refer to the LEID as a tort of outrage. The right to privacy. India, 2010, intends to provide for protection of the right of privacy of persons so as to protect them from being blackmailed, harassed, or their image or reputation being tarnished. And I'm leaving this up here so you can read it. I'm taking kind of a break from reading real quick. So, and you're going to ask me, what is a tort? A tort is a wrongful act or infringement of a right other than under contract leading to civil, legal liability. Public nuisance is a crime as well as a tort. That's not on there, but that's the definition of a tort. Intrusion, definition of 4 privacy torts. Intrusion, a physical, electronic, or mechanic intrusion into someone's private space. False light, publication of false, highly offensive information about an individual. Publication of non-newsworthy private facts about an individual that would be highly offensive to a reasonable person. True defamation, so intimate that outrage the public's sense of decency. Again, what they do is they'll target a person's name, say he's something he's not. Pedophile, snitch, rapist, whatever they'll do to ruin your name in the public. They'll make up them lies. Use of a person's name for trade or advertising purposes without consent. And as per Canadian law, the criminal code sets out the general rule it's illegal to willfully intercept private communication. These protective measures, I don't agree with the tinfoil hat because when I put a tinfoil hat on, my head heats up even worse. To me, none of that stuff works, so I'm going to keep going. Well, see, let me see what happened here. Mylar sheet, they say that works. All this stuff works, but I don't believe it, so I'm going to keep going. Some protective measures, solutions. Say no to all remote access life devices on all grounds and demand privacy, dignity, and safety as human rights. So anyway, that's all for today. So yeah, there's a lot of more stuff on here on academia about targeting individuals, mind control. Dr. Giordano, the one that does it, he's got a bunch of papers on nanosols and stuff like that. Nano aerosols and crimes against human minds on mental manipulation, harms of human rights. What is the target individual? All this stuff's on academia.com. So what I'm saying is this website is a student website for students to study college papers and stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mind control presentation, and I hope it helped you understand some of what's going on and some of your laws and rights that you have. God bless everyone.